Welcome to Street Racers, your guide to the electric world of the ABB Formula E Championship. In 2014, the first all-electric single-seater racing series burst onto the scene, and we've had 5 years of dramatic wheel-to-wheel action.
Now in technologically advanced machines capable of speeds of up to 280 kilometers an hour, powered by batteries that last the entire 45 minutes plus a lap race.
For its 6th season of city centre street racing, some of the biggest manufacturers on the planet were joined by 2 teams from motorsport royalty.
Making their debut at the first round in Diriyah, Saudi Arabia, were the German giants of Mercedes-Benz and Porsche, and they didn't take long to get up to speed.
We go green in Diriyah!
As the race headed towards its conclusion, they were fighting each other for second place. But it was one of the old guard, Envision Virgin Racing's Sam Bird, that took the checkered flag and the lion's share of the points.
Yes, boys! But podium finishes for the new teams was a huge statement of intent. Round 2, the very next day in Diriyah, saw another German team looking to assert their dominance. BMW's Alex Sims looked quick once again in qualifying, laying down the fastest flying lap time in the Super Pole shootout to secure his 2nd pole position of the weekend.
It's his 3rd pole in a row for Alexander Sims! He's a machine.
Having learnt from his mistakes the day before, he led the race from lights to flag to secure his first ever win.
Santiago, Chile, and the sun was out in force. And with only 3 minutes left in the race, DS Techeetah's Antonio Felix da Costa was leading the way. But with the temperatures high, he was pushing his car too hard.
You need to cool down the battery now.
He was forced to slow down and watch as the BMW of Max Günther overtook him on the final lap of the race to take his first, but the German team's 2nd win in a row.
Mexico City was the venue for round 4, where Jaguar driver Mitch Evans sped off the line from the front row of the grid.
There's going to be contact! Lotterer is sent off in the Porsche, and Mitch Evans is into the lead!
He left the chasing pack in the dust to fight amongst themselves. Antonio Felix da Costa was chasing down Mercedes pilot Nick de Vries, and both drivers were armed with fan boost, a short burst of extra power awarded to the 5 drivers who received the most votes from the fans. Da Costa and de Vries decided to engage it at the same time.
Here comes Da Costa to the inside, he's on fan boost, now he's locked up massively, oh and he's into France!
Da Costa's excellent timing saw him go on to win the battle and go on to secure the 2nd step of the podium for the 2nd race in a row, with Mitch Evans' dominant performance meaning he took the top step and the championship lead.
Yes, guys! Woo!
Marrakesh was next, and Da Costa started off strong from pole position before dropping once again behind Max Günther. He waited patiently though before driving through the attack mode activation zone, which is off the fastest racing line. But it gave him an extra 35 kilowatts of power for 4 minutes, which meant he quickly caught up and passed Günther's BMW and pressed on to win his and DS Techeetah's first race of the season.
Yes! Let's go, boys!
Having secured 3 podiums in 5 rounds, Da Costa is at the top of the championship standings and currently looks like the man to beat. With 5 different drivers from 5 races taking a win, it's been a thrilling start to the season. But right now, along with the rest of the sporting world, the situation of the COVID-19 pandemic has put the championship on hold. But while we wait for it to be safe to resume racing, we're here to bring you the best electric racing news, groundbreaking technology, and an inspiring story about sustainability. So let's check out what's coming your way in the show. We'll be taking a look at the brand new concept and production cars that have been announced in recent weeks.
Getting the latest update from the all-electric off-road racing series Extreme E, where rally veteran Ken Block got behind the wheel of the Odyssey 21 during the legendary Dakar race.
Plus, we'll be seeing how the Formula E drivers have been entertaining themselves whilst the racing action is on hold.
But first up, let's meet some incredible women who are bringing some light into the world. Envision Virgin Racing are committed in the push for the world to move towards using renewable energies through their Race Against Climate Change program. When in Mexico City a few months ago, they invited along some special ladies that had just arrived back after learning to become solar engineers at an amazing institution called the Barefoot College.
What they do is absolutely incredible. They left their families for 5 months to go and get trained in India to learn how to build and install solar panels. And the idea is to do that in really poor rural communities where not only having renewable energy is a good thing to have, but energy in the first place is something that they need. So it's one of these projects where you're like, you don't know what to say. Is there time commitments to be away from the families, knowing a skill that they can then implement and then hopefully pass on to the younger generations. They were telling me it's really important to empower the women in their communities but that way it's the best of both worlds where they learn a skill and they improve the overall communities. It's just an incredible project. So we're going to try to support them the best way we can.
Hurricane Barbara hit the coast of southwest Mexico last night, with winds of 80 miles per hour causing widespread destruction.
Entonces no había cómo salir de aquí. Quedó destruida la clínica, quedó destruida la agencia municipal, quedó destruida la iglesia católica. No, está loco el tiempo.
Cachimbo is a beautiful place in Mexico. It's located in the southern Ocean Pacific. It's a tiny island, so the isolation of Cachimbo is out of mind. The rural areas have two big challenges. One factor is inequality, and the second one is the climate change. So the huge impact that the nature is causing in countries where the people that are suffering the most are located. Solar energy and renewable energy is very important for rural communities because governments don't have interest to put energy in isolated areas.
Pues fue muy difícil en mi época aquí es un pueblo de pescadores y necesitamos mucho la luz para desviscerar los pescados, para salarlos, para trabajar el pescado. Y como mujer, pues en la cocina, uno cocina y necesita uno mucho la luz y tener el foco aquí en el hombro, afocándote, y pues fue muy difícil. Los jóvenes pensaron que ellos iban a ser seleccionados por ser jóvenes. Nunca pensamos que iban a ser unas señoras ya de edad como nosotras, ¿no? Él explicó que se necesitaba soldar con componentes muy diminutos y yo le dije que no podía yo ir porque pues mis ojos estaban dañados. Y no problem operation India. Los mejores médicos del mundo te van a operar en India.
We'll be back in Cachimbo learning more about Norma and the amazing Solar Mama project in India later in the show. But right now, let's take a look at some different technology as we catch up with the latest electric vehicles. In the wake of the coronavirus pandemic, it's not just sporting events that have been canceled. The Geneva International Motor Show was due to be the scene for the unveiling of a load of new and exciting cars. However, most of the manufacturers have taken their launches online.
French automaker and former Formula E manufacturer Renault released a pretty wild-looking concept called the Morphos. It's been designed to act as both a long-range cruiser and a city car, actually changing shape to suit its different driving modes. In city mode, the Morphos will use a 40 kilowatt-hour battery with around 249 miles of range. But for travelling over longer distances, the car can transform. The car will be able to extend at the front and at the rear, providing more space inside for passengers and luggage. An additional 50 kilowatt-hour battery can be installed through a special station, increasing the car's overall range to a massive 435 miles. It may only be a concept car at this stage, but the Renault Morphoz makes the future of electric mobility look both practical and exciting.
Audi have had great success with their e-tron range, but they took things a step further with the e-tron Sportback S. This more powerful, more aggressive version of the model has an additional third motor, which has been added to the rear axle, bringing its total power output to a whopping 370 kilowatts, which is the equivalent of nearly 500 horsepower.
The car will be the first mass-produced EV with 3 motors, and thanks to the innovative drive system, Audi have been able to advance their Quattro 4-wheel drive so they can individually control the power to each wheel. This means better grip, higher cornering speeds, and much more fun.
Fiat also had something new to show, but in their case, the story starts quite a few years ago. In 1957, Fiat introduced the 500. Small, nimble, and cheap to run, it was the ideal vehicle to traverse the tight and twisting streets of Italian cities. With a tiny engine, it was lightweight and agile, and the concept of a city car quickly caught on. By 1975, Fiat had sold nearly 4 million of the 500, and they were a common sight in city centers across Europe, and it stayed popular and relevant right up to the present day.
In 2020, however, the 500 will be seeing its biggest change yet. The new model will only be available with an electric motor. This is a huge statement for a car with such history, but it's about more than just hitting emissions targets. Small city cars benefit more from electrification than perhaps any other category, as electric motors are at their most efficient in urban driving. They can get maximum use from a smaller battery pack and keep those all-important air pollution levels down. The battery pack mounted low in the vehicle, combined with the instant acceleration from the electric motor, will bring the 500 back to its roots as a small, nimble car designed for threading through tight Italian alleyways and streets. Formula E has proved that city streets are the perfect environment for electric cars, and it's exciting to see such an icon of city centre motoring join the electric revolution.
Envision Virgin Racing are a driving force in the race against climate change, a program designed to promote the use of renewable energy. Whilst in Mexico earlier this year, they teamed up with a fantastic project that is helping to bring affordable, clean energy to rural communities. Women are invited to travel to India to learn about solar technology at an incredible institution called the Barefoot College.
With the Solar Mama project, so women from any country have the opportunity to go to India, to go to Barefoot College for 5 months and stay with mamas from other parts of the world. And we demystified the technology with proper knowledge and methodology through colors, numbers, and practice. After a few weeks, start to understand how the system is working, how the solar lanterns are made.
Pues al principio sí fue difícil, ¿no? Los profesores eso fue lo de Barefoot que aprendimos porque ellos están constante ahí con nosotros, al lado de nosotros y dicen no problem, nada, aunque haya problem, ellos dicen no problem. Pues yo estaba pues ansiosa, ¿no? Y el recibimiento, pues también mi familia me esperaba aquí, ¿verdad? Todas las que venimos del Barefoot venimos con esa esperanza, con esas ganas de electrificar nuestro pueblo, ¿no? Cambió que primeramente que se veía pues iluminado Cachimbo, ¿no? Parecía un árbol de Navidad. Es más práctico todas las cosas que tú hagas. Es muy lindo tener luz.
Because of climate change, the situation with hurricanes and earthquakes are worse now. That fear is a big factor for people to say, I need to go, not just because the situation of Cachimbo, but because now my life is in risk.
Comenzó a emigrar la gente de aquí cuando fue por el temblor, el terremoto que pasó en el 2017. Pensábamos que iba a ser un tsunami y la gente se espantó demasiado. Se fueron a vivir a otro lado. Y de que sí se va a poner más feo, pues sí, se va a poner más feo, mucho más feo. Por lo que se está oyendo del calentamiento, el mar de fondo.
Sí, está creciendo el mar.
Sí, llega el agua hasta adentro. Y luego que el oleaje del mar está creciendo demasiado. Pues si quieren que el mundo no se pierda tan rápido, que no haya más desastres, que ayudemos un poco al planeta, ¿verdad? Y ocupemos la energía renovable, pues es una energía limpia, una energía gratuita, que no contamina y pues es una energía buena.
Back in Mexico City, the latest barefoot graduates were enjoying learning about more electric technologies as guests of Envision Virgin Racing.
The purpose of Envision Virgin Racing is more than just going around the track in circles, you know. The racing is a platform to educate, highlight some issues, but more importantly, what I really believe in is to showcase the solutions. And I believe that today we have the technology to take the whole world fully renewable. It's a question of resource and will and dedication. So our job is to try to accelerate that momentum, and we can do that in many, many ways. But using the Formally platform for sure is a good place to start.
The other side of the planet, the Extreme E team were recently in Greenland scouting the location for one of their races. Extreme E is a new racing series from the founders of Formula E, with the aim of bringing electric off-road racing to areas of the world which have been most affected by climate change. And the newly announced head of the scientific committee, Professor Peter Wadhams, was on hand for the Greenland expedition to explain the issues that are affecting the region.
Well, here I am standing on top of the Greenland ice sheet, and this is the second largest ice sheet on Earth. It's 4,000 kilometres long, 2,000 kilometres wide, and 2.5 kilometres thick. If all of the ice on the Greenland ice sheet melted, then sea level would rise by 7 metres, and most of the Earth's coastal cities would be flooded. In the past, you wouldn't get any melt of the Greenland ice sheet even in summer, but now the whole ice sheet is melting. It's covered with these rivers of water which are running out to sea. We're seeing a kind of dying of the Greenland ice sheet here, and it's a very serious situation.
That just goes to show why it's so important to do everything we can to reverse the damage being done. And one of the main aims of Extreme E is to raise awareness about the regions that are most at threat. Now, as the series is not due to kick off until January 2021, the Extreme E car is still in its intensive development program. And recently, that included a visit to the deserts of Saudi Arabia with veteran rallycross driver and viral sensation Ken Block.
So today, here in the deserts of Saudi Arabia was my first day driving an electric race car. So the Extreme E Odyssey 21, and it's been quite an experience. Started off slow and on some tight sections, and then opened it up on some faster sand wash type sections. And it's been really quite a great experience learning the capabilities and adapting to like a whole new type of power delivery. In fact, I'm still trying to adapt to it because the torque is there. The second that you get on the throttle, the thing wants to just jump forward.
Ken was the first to get behind the wheel of the Odyssey 21 and drive it in anger. And when he joined the final stage of the iconic Dakar Rally as a special guest, had he been classified, he would have finished in 3rd place overall. A great result for the car's first outing on a timed stage.
Ken may have been the first driver to race the Odyssey 21, but he definitely won't be the last. The Extreme E Drivers Program is designed to promote talent and assist teams and drivers in organising and preparing for their first campaigns in the championship. It's quite the list of names, from inaugural Formula E champion Nelson Piquet Jr. to W Series champion Jamie Chadwick. The level of talent is unbelievable.
And of course, there's plenty of familiar faces from the Formula E paddock who are itching to get to grips with some electric off-roading. Current championship leader Antonio Felix da Costa is joined by 2017 champion Lucas di Grassi. Daniel Abt is also involved, along with Andre Lauderer, Jerome D'Ambrosio, James Rossiter, Oliver Turvey, and Catherine Legg.
It's sure to be one hell of a ride. We can't wait for the championship to kick off in 2021. For now, however, much of the world is on lockdown, even the Formula E drivers. So we checked in with the guys to see what they've been doing to keep busy.
Well, good morning, street racers. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you're safe and healthy wherever you're spending your quarantine. I'm spending mine in a pretty safe place around my season 4 race car. But yeah, not so much going on here in the motorsport department, so I really hope the situation stops soon and we can get back to racing. Until then, sending you a lot of positivity and all the best. See you soon.
Hi, street racers friends. I really hope you are safe. I am here at home in Brazil, trying to stay with my family. Take care, all the best, and I really hope to see you soon in the racetracks. Take care.
Nico Muller has developed a genius way of keeping his arms fit for driving whilst at home.
Hi guys, it's Nico Muller from Geox Dragon, from home obviously. Hope you guys are all safe and healthy out there. I'm trying to make the most of the time at home, spending quality time with my girlfriend and my dog, who seems to be very excited about it. Huh, Lina? Nah, hope to see you soon on the racetrack again. We want to get back to action. And yeah, stay safe, follow the rules. Looking forward to see you soon. Bye-bye.
Hey guys, so morning routine here in Croatia is to pick up my breakfast. We got fresh eggs here, we just got chickens. Try to come in and pick up the eggs. As you can see, they've not been laying properly. They're not laying. This is Daisy, meet Daisy, she's pretty chill. We'll get breakfast.
While Jerome forages for his breakfast, his teammate Pascal Verline has been getting on with a little bit of DIY action whilst in isolation.
Hey everybody, so in isolation basically I've been working out, pushing hard with my running, using the Peloton bike that I've got at home, staying safe, remembering to wash my hands, do all the right things, follow the guidelines, as you guys should.
He's also decided on a new lockdown look. We're just hoping he did that himself. Streamlined styling though. Championship leader Antonio Felix da Costa posted this clip of him entertaining his dogs. Hopefully we'll be seeing him dropping tracks of another kind back at the wheel of his DS Tachita again soon.
The poncho is actually kind of normal. I just wear it on a daily basis. And I'm walking my 3 dogs right now. This one's the hardest one too. Antonio, sit.
Well, as Antonio tries to park his dogs, sadly because of the worldwide pandemic, Street Racers is also going to be parked up for a while.
But as soon as it's safe to get out and go racing again, we'll be back bringing you the best of the news, action, and behind-the-scenes stories from the paddocks of ABB Formula E.
Until then, wherever you are, please do all you can to keep healthy and take care of each other. Stay safe, Street Racers.